as someone who looks at EM markets, how are you looking at sort of not just the China plus one strategy, but, you know, as far as some of the diversification of these markets are concerned? You know, we've got, of course, the Vietnamese leader who's going to be up in Beijing over the weekend, and many are looking at this particular economy as perhaps a beneficiary of some of that diversification of markets around US tariffs, etc. So how are you looking more broadly at sort of the EM in that sense?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and that's a great perspective to think about. I think during COVID, a lot of US purchasers were surprised at the extent that China was willing to disrupt their participation in some of those supply chains, and they started to look around for alternatives. And I think they looked to Vietnam, as you said, they've looked to India, as we've talked about before, and they also looked to other places like Mexico and Turkey to serve the European Union. I think people have learned to maybe keep their supply chains a little bit shorter, maybe a little closer to home, and more diversified. And unfortunately, that's, I think, holding back China's recovery, because people have diversified away from China where they can. So I think that's something that Beijing really needs to deal with, and they'll need to be very focused on domestic strength because they may not get an export-led recovery.